Welcome to the Zeal podcast, where we explore the creative journey through the lens of fashion, culture, and the stories that shape us. I'm your host, Myah.
And I'm Corinea.
Let's get into it.
Oh, girl, people, we got it here today. I was trying to like a faster, but I wouldn't work.
Oh my God. Coco.
That was probably a loud start for people. But we're at the end of season 2.
Yay!
Woo, that's amazing.
That is so good.
I'm so proud of us. I think doing this will make some noise, but it doesn't. So, yay. But
I'm proud of us.
I am too. I don't know. 2 seasons it's crazy. It's an accomplishment. I like literally after we do this, we were talking about this. After we do this and we film this episode, go home. Yeah, I'm laying around and I ain't doing nothing. I'm doing nothing.
We had charcuterie boards yesterday.
Yes, so
I might get me a little leftovers.
Yes,
and lay down and watch. I don't know. I'll watch something, but it's gonna be something that's not. I'm not thinking.
I'm like, after this, we deserve it.
We do.
Which is, it can be toxic at first, but I'm like, I've done enough work today. Actually, I've done enough work within my last couple of days. We're good. But within this season, we're 2 seasons in now.
Yeah,
we're 2 seasons in now. Such a big accomplishment. And as you guys know, I don't know if the audience knows, you should, but we've been friends long before doing this. You can, I think we talk about it more episode 1, like the pilot. We talk about it. So my question is, what's so great about working with your best friend? What are the positives, and the other positives about working with your friends? But no, just in general, I know that when we first started this, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if you want to share this, but out of the 2 of us, Myah was the more skeptical one about working with friends. I was like, let's just do it. Let's go. But I don't really think too long. Yeah, I don't think too hard about things.
Which I appreciate about you.
She was, but I need somebody that thinks too hard about things. I need somebody that thinks hard because I'm so cavalier.
Yeah.
Like even the last thing that we just talked about the book and stuff, and how we flushed it out, and you expressed your worries, and I was like, oh, you know what? That actually makes sense, because once again, I'm so cavalier. I'm just like add. And you're like, let's maybe pull back a little bit. But yeah, so what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think it's been great, honestly. I mean, I was skeptical just because that's just my nature, just around, whatever. But to your point, I need the energy that you bring. I am I'm a deep thinker. I'm very introspective. Probably more of the introverted one. I know you are introverted, but I'm more of the introverted one.
It probably doesn't show up on camera though. People probably do not think that. So people are probably listening to me like, excuse me?
No, and you know what? This is a fair assessment, because meeting her, I wouldn't have thought she was introverted either. Yeah. But you have introverted ways.
I love being alone.
Yeah.
Like there's when we talked about that, it's like I found a lot of power in recharging alone. Yeah. I'm very, very much like that.
And you're the only child too.
Yeah, I am. So I'm used to being alone. Yeah. And I think it's interesting. I'm used to like going out being social and then coming right back home to silence. To like you go in your room, I go in mine, and that's what I'm used to. But yeah, so okay, we'll start. What's your advice to people starting businesses with their friends?
Oh, well, I think first of all, you need to be in a friendship that is mature enough to handle conflict.
Yes. No,
if your friendship is already on rocky ground where you don't feel comfortable enough to share things that may be on your heart, things you may not agree with, y'all have creative differences or anything like that, it may not be the best person to go into business or to partner with and collaborate with, because those things are going to show up in business often. There's going to be there's going to be times where you don't see things eye to eye, and you have to be able to work through that. So I would say you definitely want to make sure, if you're going to go into business with a friend, that first of all, the friendship already is mature enough to
Yes.
handle what can come with working together.
No, that's true. Because there's definitely been moments within these last two seasons where I've caught myself being snappy,
Mm-hmm.
and I've hung up. I've hung up, and then I'm like, I call directly back. I'm like, my bad, girl.
Yeah.
That was a little bit snappy of me. But you're right. We have a lot of open communication, which I've
Mm-hmm.
always appreciated in our friendship, and like as of course we handle things differently, so we're gonna have conflicts and we're gonna like butt heads or have two different perspectives, but we always handle it out,
Yeah.
and we always hash it out to where nobody's yelling at each other,
Yeah.
nobody's like mad. It's just like, yeah, no, this is my perspective and this is
Yeah.
yours. Another thing that we did early on
Mm-hmm.
is we set up boundaries around where we communicate,
We
which
did.
was, it was like, please get this out, because we at first we started group chats within our phones, and we were in
Mm-hmm.
our phones and we were talking about everything. And what triggered me and what made me bring this up is that I would go to your messages and it would be work.
Yeah.
It would be nothing but us talking about this and this and this and
Yeah.
that. And I remember saying, I was like, we gotta take this somewhere else, because I
Yeah.
don't want this in my messages anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to get to my phone, because I'm talking to you about like just life in general. I'm like, I want our messages to be filled with life
Right.
and what we enjoy talking about and just our day to day, versus every time I go to it, it's about this, it's about
Mm-hmm.
writing, it's about editing, it's about something. Because what if I just don't feel like responding to that right now? Right? So we definitely set up work communication for something else. And we set a
Yeah, that
hard
was
boundary,
really smart.
because since we did that, I don't think we've ever talked about, like, I was even trying to take it as far as to only call you in that system as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up not, I did it once. I was like, no, we're not gonna do it. Sometimes you gotta pick up the phone and call the phone number.
Yeah, yeah,
But excuse me, it worked out really well for us.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think
I
that
think
was
so too.
really great, because also we're both overworkers.
Mm-hmm.
We're both hard workers, let me say that. So work is always on our mind.
Yep.
Always, always. Which, to the team that is behind the camera
Yeah.
and doing the editing, thank you guys so much, because I know we're not easy talent. I know we're not easy talent to
Yeah.
work with, because we're both so observant and so
Yeah.
picky in
Yeah.
our own ways, and very hard workers. So you'll get a message about work at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You definitely will. You definitely
Oh
will
yeah,
from
yeah,
us.
yeah, for sure,
You
for
definitely
sure.
will. So it's like taking it over there also allows people to just open it when they want to open it, not as soon as they're on their phone, not waking anybody up.
Exactly.
So it was great.
Exactly.
It was great for us.
Yeah.
And we're just happy to be at season 2, to be at the end of it. Thank you guys so much if you've been a part of the journey, right? So moving forward, let's go ahead and get into it. What's your Zeal of the week?
My Zeal of the week. So, I've been thinking a lot lately about the how we are kind of going into physical media again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always been here, kind of in the backdrop, but I think with the introduction of AI years ago and how much it's been politicized, I think people more and more are wanting to own their media.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing a resurgence of zine culture,
Yes.
CDs.
Yes.
I think vinyls have been. I would say in the past 10 years, people have started getting back into vinyls. CDs though are becoming
Really,
popular again.
I was thinking about getting a CD player.
Yeah.
What I was thinking of is, how do I listen to music that's not connected to my phone?
Yeah.
The issue is, how do I get it off of Spotify? Like, right? Do I have to? I gotta pay for it, right? I gotta burn it, because LimeWire don't exist no more.
It don't exist.
But yes, the physical media.
To be able to. I mean, can you still do that? You used to be able to go on iTunes
and buy it
and buy the
I don't know if
music.
you can do that anymore.
Because I still have music on my phone from iTunes that I bought like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. It's in the library of my Apple Music. It still exists there, but obviously it doesn't say iTunes anymore, but it's under Apple Music.
Okay.
But it's just so fun even having this conversation, how generationally we've evolved with even within the digital space. But I think the sort of the role that physical media is playing now is it's becoming more of a collectible for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people. Um, and for me, I'm just a sucker for physical media. I
Yeah.
really, really am. Digital is not going anywhere.
Yes, it's
Don't
not.
It's not going anywhere. It's not a situation, I don't think, where we'll ever see like where everyone's done with digital media and we're gonna go backwards. But I do think it kind of drives the demand and appreciation up
Mm-hmm.
for physical media. Um, so the Zeal Edit is releasing the first issue
Whoop whoop.
this year, and as we continue to approach it, it just always makes me think about the importance of how we are documenting our stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I say this a lot in the podcast, and maybe it's a conspiracy, but it's facts. We do not own anything we post on social media, anything we write on like these platforms like Substack. These things we do not own. We
Yes.
do not own. We have no control over it. And at any minute, I always just picture like this big evil man just with a button in front of him and just hits a button and then everything goes away. All of our memories are
Yes.
erased.
Yes.
And so it makes me think about how it's so important to own the things and physically still have
Yes.
digital, but also like print things out, print photos out, buy magazines.
Yes.
And with the Zeal Edit issue coming up, that is something that I have been thinking about a lot more is um, how does physical media show up in your day-to-day life? How is it, what is a relationship with physical media for you as a creative?
Mm-hmm.
How are you utilizing that within sort of your creative processes? I use Pinterest, I use social media to draw inspiration, but I'm also going to go to a library and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to go through physical books. And I also have a library at my house of coffee table books, magazines.
Yes.
We have some vinyl records that we like to keep so that if I need inspiration, I have a collection of content that I can consume on my bookshelf,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Um, so I just want us to be thinking about how we can, if you don't, how you can integrate physical media into your everyday
Yes.
or part of your creative process. Um, because, again, it is going to be important to not only own what you create, but it's a great way to get intimate with the work and the art.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I think on a level for me was I talk about this in the podcast. We keep saying we talk about this in the podcast a lot because we do. But you may hear me say research a lot, and
Yeah.
I research a lot, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, if there is a question I have around anything, I write it down. And when I'm bored, when I have free time, I give myself space to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I give myself space to explore everything. I give myself permission
Mm-hmm.
to to
Mm-hmm.
explore everything and just let that take me wherever it takes me. And with that being said, when we talk about physical media,
Yeah.
one thing that I've been doing is the same way we both love books, right? We
Mm-hmm.
both love books. You have a lot more magazines than I do, but I still sometimes go back to my older magazines just to see the difference,
Oh,
just
I
to
love
see
it.
what was going on then
Yeah.
versus what's going on now out of pure like curiosity.
Yeah.
And also another layer to that is I've been going to the bookstore, not the bookstore, the library a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So and I've been taking the little one too.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to explore what does research look like today. That's if it's not connected to digital.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm looking at something, it's so quick to Google it. But what does it look like? It takes a lot of preparation, of course. But what does it look like to just go to the library and try to find that book?
Can we talk about that? Because when we talk about research, this is going to age us, but it's okay. Do you remember being younger and having to do research, having to do
Mm-hmm.
a paper, and you had to go to the library and you had to talk to the librarian,
Yes.
tell them what you were trying to research.
Yes.
They would let you know the section. They maybe had like a book that you can look and kind of find
Yes.
where the books would be. You would go to that section and you would check out all the books that were connected to that project, that topic, and then you had to go through each book, take notes on
Yes.
what, and I think that's why, no shade, but that's why I think our generation is really, well, I don't know, it depends on, how, what your sort of upbringing was in
Yeah.
relationship to how you handle schooling and all those things. But for the most part, we should know how to research. We are at the brink of like digital
Yeah.
media, and we also
Yeah.
came up around physical. We're right in the center.
I would hate to be younger, and I would hate to be older.
Same.
I love
We
exactly
came up
where I
at the
am.
perfect
Yeah.
time because we got to both experiences, but it also gives us the leverage of we know how to research.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this the other day around how, like, when there's a new headline or
Yes.
something comes out, I do not, my instinct isn't to believe the first thing I see. My instinct is to do a couple layers of research first before I have an opinion or reaction to something, because the news cycles are so fast now.
Yes.
But I think that is a testament to us coming from a space where we did have to research things, and we had to do the work of checking our sources.
Yes.
And the teachers did not play about that. You
Yeah.
need to cite your sources. Where did you get this information from?
I remember there was a time where we couldn't use Wikipedia. I remember that.
Oh yeah, they did not play about that.
They were like, you cannot use it because anybody can write that.
Yeah,
which is still true. I don't think they should use Wikipedia to this day. But it was more like anybody can write this stuff, so you can't use that. As you were talking and as you were like talking about researching, that is a skill that we have that I don't think a lot of other people do, is skimming. Yeah. And paraphrasing. Like because what you may be thinking about if you didn't do that growing up is, okay, well, I can't read all these books. Yeah. Like, I can't read 10 books, but they taught you how to skim.
Yeah, they did.
So they taught you how to look at the words and quickly gather what this is. That doesn't do what I'm talking about. Right. And quickly just figure, like, you had to skim what you were doing, say no, and keep on doing it and be able to then repeat that back. Paraphrasing is so important. Yep. It's so important. I think it's important for the work that I do and the criticisms that I have, because I have to be able to read something and spit it back out in a way that makes sense.
It's digestible.
Yeah, for everybody. But physical media is just, I think physical media is so crucial. That's why I really love what you're doing with the Zeal edit, and I'm so excited to see what issues to come look like. Because I think we're also at this space of, I talk about that pendulum a lot. Yeah. We're in this space now where everybody is starting to crave physical media a little bit more. And it could be because the guy with the big red button is snatching it away. And you could see him snatching it away in real time. How many times have we seen those TikToks of what is on Disney Channel right now versus the original and how they edit it? Wow. Like, because I'm even like, if we were to take that girlfriend's box that you have over there and compare it to what's actually on Netflix right now, would we see differences, and what would those differences be? Oh, that's
such a good experiment. It's so true, though.
It's true. Like, they've done it with the one that I could think about that I see the most is Lilo and Stitch. Okay. When she is in the dishwasher. Originally, she's in the dishwasher, but if you watch it now on Disney Channel, it's like a cabinet. Oh. They changed it to a cabinet and took out the dishwasher, which makes me think there is probably whole departments dedicated to reanimating and editing things.
It's true. There's two things that come to mind for me is and I don't know how true it is because I don't have or do I? We do have the You Got Served. We got You Got Served. So there was a clip that went viral on TikTok where they had a version where, I don't know if you remember the scene where I think Omarion and I don't know her name in the movie, but her name is Jessica or Jennifer Freeman. Jessica or Jennifer Freeman. Okay. The light-skinned curly hair. She was in My Wife and Kids. Oh. Her and Omarion were sitting down trying to figure out how to help Claire
from My Wife and
Kids. Okay. Yes. They were trying to figure out how to help Marcus Houston.
Lil Saint?
Not Lil Saint. Marcus.
How to do it for Lil Saint.
Marcus Houston, and he was on crutches, and so he had came in there, and I guess there was a part where he maybe hit the sister because he was upset that she was still talking to him, and there was a part where he maybe hit her.
Yes.
And they show him hitting her, but in the you can't find it anywhere else. But now they show it where he's not hitting her. The other one, I was watching The Wire the other day, and there was a part where Michael B. Jordan, where he's about to get shot, and he actually uses the restroom on himself, but they completely took that part out. Yeah, so that's, I mean, rightfully so. That one is a lie, but I'm just saying they do have moments where they're taking these.
Yes, they do.
They're taking these moments and they're editing them post the time the air.
Yes.
So
there's the only reason I can think about it was animation because I'm a child, but there was something else with Indians, and they were making fun of them in a very old Disney Channel that they took out, and you know what? They took it out and then they put a precursor in front of it and was like, "This was created in this time." Okay. Blah blah blah. These views are wrong.
Yeah.
I think it was Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I think it was Peter Pan. Now that I think about it, that's who I think that I haven't seen Peter Pan in a while, but that's what I think it is. But yes, physical media is important to really, because, for example, him hitting his sister, right? We may not agree with that. We may not like that. But at some point, we need to understand that that's where media was at that point.
That's true. Because think about the thing with Tyra Banks that came out earlier this year, the documentary.
Yes.
Those times were so different.
Yes.
And not that they were good or,
but we need to have evidence of that.
Exactly what was going on.
You need to have evidence of that.
Because isn't that the conversation around critical theory and how they're trying to remove a lot of that from the books and from the education so that they can erase parts of history? That stuff happened during that time in the 2000s. Like you're saying, we don't agree, but I also, that was what the reality was. That's where our minds were at that point in time.
I was gonna ask you what has physical media done for you in your creative journey? How has it progressed it and moved it forward?
How has physical media
helped you?
I mean, I use it a lot. I reference it a lot in the editorial space because we do a lot of visual. A lot of what the Zeal edit is centered on is visual storytelling. And so what captured me from a young age when it came to fashion wasn't so much about, and I talk about this a lot, I'm transparent, it's not so much just about the brands and the luxury behind it or the sort of the classism around what fashion can represent, but it was more so around the statement piece, the stories, the messaging. How can we translate a message through content and through visual stories, And so when I look at physical media and I go through a magazine or a coffee table book, I'm really just sucked into the images and the story and the writing that goes behind that and how it's paired together. I've always just been captivated by how someone can pull a story together in both of those spaces. And so I think it's helped me. I still reference them to this day. I like to go through different photographer books and different magazines from when I first started getting into magazines to better understand what story I'm trying to translate and pull from, just different times. And so,
because having that physical media and having it on paper is just so important. And for me, as you said, coffee table books. I remember when I had a coffee table book and I actually started to read it instead of looking at the pictures. I said, "Oh, I'm here." I thought, "Oh, girl, you're trying to get knowledgeable. You're trying to be intelligent. Good job." Because typically you look at coffee table books and you're just thinking about them from the standpoint of these pictures look nice. But once you start to actually read them and go in depth with them, you find out a lot more.
And before we wrap up too, just when it comes to print media, we also have to remember that Black women or Black people own, I want to say 2%, less than 2%
Mm-hmm.
of um, of print magazines. And so when we think about that and how small that is, there's still so many publications out there that are printing. A lot of it, they're changing the way that we see it. We're seeing magazines more as collectibles and
Mm-hmm.
statement pieces, home pieces, whatever you collect them for. But there's a small margin of Black women
Mm-hmm.
that own these platforms. So when you see us creating and building, support.
Yeah, you're a part of that.
Yeah.
You're a part of that percentage, girl.
But what has your Zeal this week?
Um, this week I have been thinking a lot about the trends that we consume
Yeah.
and the fads that we consume. Because what really got me started was I thought to myself, if the trend started and ended on TikTok, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't see it in the real world, did it really matter?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what people don't understand is that the way we are consuming trends now is completely different versus the way we used to consume them. And what I mean by that is trends really used to be driven by niche communities.
Mm-hmm.
It was this subculture of people that were doing things their own way.
Yeah.
When we think about it, think about grunge, right? When we think about
Yep.
that, Vivian Westwood, when we think about the whole London like punk scene all
Yes.
together and the trends, the silhouettes,
Mm-hmm.
everything that came from that. It was about this sub genre, this subculture of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now when we look at it, trends are really just manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily as organic as they used to be. And another part that made me really think about this is Rihanna. So, as we all know, Rihanna has been working with Puma,
Yeah.
right? We know that. So, Rihanna just got out of her deal with Puma. And the way that she announced it, the way that it went about was the first shoe that she wore that was not a Puma, that was a sneaker, was a Nike Moon shoe. That's the same shoe. It looks a little bit like the Jacquemus shoe that Nike just came out
Yeah.
with. That's super popular. Um, and I see this moon shoe everywhere. This moon sneaker, I see it everywhere. I see so many headlines with, "This is the new sneaker of the summer. This is the sneaker. This is this and the third." And why I thought about it is because I'm like doing the math and I'm like, how do all of these outlets have the same picture?
Mm.
How do all of these outlets have the same talking point?
Yeah.
Because it's very easy. It's easy to point out when a trend is manufactured because the more you see it and the more of the same headline you see, you have to think that that PR team sent that out and said these are the pictures you use and this is the verbiage.
Yep.
This is what we want you to hit on. And it just seems like Nike is pushing that shoe so hard. Like last year, it was a shock.
Yeah.
That's the shoe that they were pushing, and it really didn't work out that well. It didn't do too many numbers in the U.S. It did in Europe, but not over here. And so, just seeing that really made me think about the cycle of trends and how brands start them and all of that type of stuff, which made me do research to see what the system is and how they're doing it.
You know, it makes me think about the article you wrote, The Imperfect Woman, around the messy girl trend. Or we don't call it a trend. It's an evolution.
Yes.
We're evolving into this.
Yes.
But it makes me think about that because when we talk about, you were talking about punk rock era and all these different eras that we witness across fashion. It gets me thinking about how where we are politically and social economically, how trends are then kind of cultivated or curated because of that.
Yes.
And how brands are strategic enough to pay attention to that, or not. Maybe they miss the point, miss what's happening. But it made me think about the article because it talks about an era of what we're seeing socially. This is, and again, I know the way you view trends and like how we are moving into things politically are kind of different in your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I kind of see them a little bit hand in hand.
Yes.
And so when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, economically, we're struggling,
Yes.
as an economy. And so how do brands, when we're talking about manufacturing trends, take on those cues and then
Mm,
manufacture a trend? Or if they're manufacturing trends, are they thinking about those cues within
mm,
our space politically,
yes.
socially? And sometimes they miss the mark.
Yes, yes. Sometimes they miss the mark, but they're definitely think about it. You have to
Yeah.
think about how, a lot of people may not know, but whatever your favorite brand is, research how much they spend on marketing. Because I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's brands spend so much money on marketing as a whole. So typically, what a brand does, yes, they're paying attention politically. They're paying attention to what everybody has going on and what societal values are at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
So is it even down to how they do copyright? So
yeah,
if we're all feeling like we're in a recession or we're all feeling like we don't have any money, how does that change the consumer? It changes the consumer because they're going to more so do core styles.
mm-hmm.
They more so are going to do capsule collections. They may care about Aritzia a little bit more. So when you go into these stores, are they pushing mix and match items?
Yeah,
Are they investing their dollars into campaigns from influencers and people that talk about, oh, this top can be worn like this, like this, like this, like this?
mm-hmm.
Like, how are they finding this use? Because essentially what happens is a brand decides, okay, this is what we're going to push.
Yeah,
This is it. This is, they have whole teams dedicated to data. Whole
mm-hmm.
teams, and not data in the sense of looking at technology. What I mean is forecasting. They have whole teams dedicated to forecasting.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding, we're in 2026. You have to understand brands are in 2028.
Yeah,
Like, they're in 2028 right now. 2027 has already been worked out,
mm-hmm.
and they're moving on. So what a brand does is they'll invest in something. So they'll pay the writers, they'll pay the influencers, they'll pay, yeah, the writers, the influencers. So when we talk about media, it goes back to a conversation we were having with Dior
Mm-hmm.
and how important media was at that time. I feel like it's still the same, just looks different.
Yeah,
So it's not necessarily, they're paying some writers, but they're also more so paying influencers
yeah,
to speak a certain type of way. So then after that brand invests, essentially media validates it.
yeah,
So I'm going to invest in this t-shirt. I'm going to pay the media to validate it. So now that it's validated, my customer sees it. And once it's media validated, then the customer says, oh, okay, this is a trend. I
mm-hmm.
can go ahead and buy this.
Mm-hmm.
I can go ahead and do this. And it's just a circle.
Yep.
Because after the consumer says, oh, okay, the media has validated this trend that
Yeah.
I've been seeing around, let me go back and buy it. And then they take that money and they invest it again.
Yeah.
And it's just like one big cycle.
That's a good point, because the amount of money they put into making sure that their product, their trend, their vision gets in front of you as many times. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it takes at least 4 times for a person to see something. At least. Could be more. At least four times.
See, I would raise it to 6.
Okay, at least
Yeah.
6 times for you to see it before you purchase it. So that's a lot of money that they have to spend on each platform and each tier that they're hitting when it comes to grabbing your attention to buy the thing.
Yes, exactly. No, that's exactly what it is. And like brands manufacturing these trends, it's all about their bottom dollar.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why when you look at things, you have to be wary sometimes. Like, you have to be able to be media literate.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know what is actually, when an influencer that you're following is actually creating something that's authentic, or is she pushing it? Because a lot of times I'm telling you that it's not just hashtag ad. Right? Like, sometimes they're not advertising, it's an ad. They're not advertising any of that. It's just they're just pushing it. And yeah, it's just that part is just so interesting with where we're at and how people are so easily influenced by trends and influenced by just consumerism altogether.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot to consume. It's a lot going on.
And with that, as we are talking about consumerism and all the things that come at us and the tension that this brand is trying to pull us here and your job is trying to pull you here and everything that's happening in the economy. All that said, we are dealing as a culture with burnout.
Consumer burnout is a real thing.
A real thing.
They talk about it. Like that's a whole profile of a consumer is somebody that has too many options. And what do they do next?
Yeah.
And they don't do anything.
Yep.
So it's a very fine line of not doing too much either. So you're right.
Yeah.
Burnout's crazy.
Yeah. And we wanted to talk about burnout here because as we get to our last episode of season 2, you know, there's so much work that goes into being a creative. In this season in particular, we really wanted to get into the weeds of after you start something, what does the process look like after that? You know, we talked about vulnerability. We talked about consistency and discipline. We discussed what our thoughts around motivation and the spiritual sort of connection to motivation. And rounding it out, all of these things, we're landing at burnout. You can do all of this and still be tired, stressed, and you feel like you've put it all out there. And now where do we go from here when it comes to managing burnout and stress? I want to talk about, when it comes to this conversation, what is the conversation we're not having about burnout that we need to be discussing?
Oh, what's the conversation? No, I guess for me, the conversation that is happening around burnout that a lot of people do not talk about, that I had to realize within myself, is anytime I get burnt out, the first question I ask is, am I too emotionally engaged? Am I too engaged with everything that's going around right now? What can I actually let go of? What actually does not matter? Because that's how I get burnt out fast. Like, I'm too engaged with it. I'm too engaged with it all. I'm too engaged with my phone. I'm too engaged at work. I'm too engaged in this business. And I'm too engaged here. And what I mean by being too emotionally engaged, for me, that looks like being too stressed about everything. So what's actually worth, I don't think anything's worth the stress, to be honest, but what's worth my emotional attachment?
That's good.
That's what I go through when it comes to burnout, which, as you were talking, I'm like, ending this season on burnout is just so poetic, and I really do love it because it's something that creative block and burnout is something that we all experience. Like, the thing with burnout is you try to prevent it. And I'm at the age now, or I'm at the part in my journey now where I know when I'm about to get burnt out.
What are the signals for you?
The signals for me is when I stop taking care of myself. I'm very much a self-care person. Extremely. A facial, an eye mask, a hot shower, like, cause that's self-care. Like, go get your hair. Like, when I stop keeping up with myself, I'm like, whoa. I always gotta take a step back. I'm saying, okay, hold on, what's about to happen to you right now? Like, let's go ahead and let's talk about this. And it's typically burnouts on the opposite side. Or to me, even when I have a creative block, I have to explore, is it because I'm burnt out? Because it could be the same thing. But what does burnout look like for you?
Burnout looks like, it comes different ways, but I'll say I know when I'm burnt out, chronically burnt out, is when it shows up in my body, or has shown up in my body. I've learned
that's
how to
true.
manage it now. I'm a bit better at it, but it does show up in my body. I used to break out in hives. Like, yeah, I used to
Mm.
break out in hives because it was an overreaction to what was happening in my environment. And
Mm.
so I really want us to talk about that too on the physical aspects of burnout,
That's important.
especially being Black women,
Mm-hmm.
because we are we are very highly accessible to um, autoimmune diseases,
Mm.
and so that is connected to stress
Yes.
and taking on too much and not prioritizing ourselves.
Yeah.
And so um, for me, I realized I was getting hives, I was having digestive issues, just an overactive immune system responding
Mm.
to the stressors of my environment, responding to stress and work, and just taking on too much.
Oh, that's a lot. I think for me, it's sleep.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand that now. When I do not have enough sleep, I get headaches.
Mm.
Like I get stress headaches.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Like I can feel it coming, and I'm like I gotta calm down.
Yeah.
I can feel a headache coming 2 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because my eyes start hurting. My eyes start
Mm.
hurting, and it'll hurt for one day, then it'll get a little bit, and then it'll start increasing.
Yeah.
And I noticed it recently, and then by the end of the week, I have a headache that I can't get rid of.
Oof.
And once I remember my eyes started to hurt the other day, instantly took a shower. I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and wrap it up for the day.
Yeah,
We're gonna go
yeah,
ahead and relax,
yeah,
and we're gonna have read a book, lay down in darkness, and we're gonna call it today. And tomorrow we'll pick it back up.
yeah.
But it's burnout is a lot about prevention.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
It is. You have to be intentional around your boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. And that goes for every aspect of your life. You have to understand in your work life, if you work a 9 to 5, you can set work boundaries.
Yes.
And we've talked about this season a lot, but I think as women, we often feel like we have to say yes to everything.
Yes.
We have a people pleasing sort of conditioning that society has placed on us. So we constantly are feeling like if we don't say yes or if we say no, we're going to be a bad person or whatever the case is, whatever trauma response we have.
Yes.
But, I think we're moving into a stage in millennium where it's like women more and more are taking their power back in these corporate spaces in particular.
Yes.
And setting boundaries. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to set boundaries in your workspaces, not just at home in your personal life. And I say that in workspaces too because I think we often feel it's very touchy. We don't want to upset whomever it is or whatever. But especially as leaders, if you're a leader in your workspace, set those boundaries.
You have to set
You
boundaries.
have to set boundaries.
You have to set boundaries. Clearly, my boundary, I think we talked about this last episode, is not answering the phone during lunch.
Yeah.
But I do have boundaries. Like I do know when I'm at my brink at work and I just can't take on anything else.
Yeah.
Or when I'm at the point where me taking on that one extra thing is actually going to break me.
Yeah.
So actually, we cannot do that. I have too many conflicting priorities right now. So let's figure something else out.
It's okay to say
yes.
no.
It's okay to say no.
I'm not doing it.
It really is, and it's like that no looks different for everybody. So you have to figure out what that no looks like for you. Is it a no maybe later, or is it a no not at all? Especially when you're at work and you are trying to move ahead of your career and you think that I can't say no and I can't do this. You 1,000% can.
You can.
And 9 times out of 10 they'll respect you more for it. That you respect somebody at work that has a boundary in place. You truly, I'm telling you, they do. People respect you when they have a boundary. People respect you when they understand you're not just picking up you're not picking up all the slack. Because what will happen is you'll get burnt out and they'll use you to death.
They will use you to death. And people pick up on, first of all, you have to know that when it comes to your career, you are your only advocate.
That's facts.
No one is coming to save you in life. But when we're talking about corporate, no one is coming to fight for you, to tell you, hey, and if you do have someone like that at work, that is a rare thing.
Yeah.
When you have someone that is advocating for you, that is pouring into you or giving you career advice and that sort of thing, um, that's why it's important to have good leaders in corporate America, because those leaders are going to help shape those boundaries for you,
Mm-hmm.
respect those boundaries, and mentor you through that. Um, but yes, you have to be able to say no and advocate for yourself in these spaces, because nobody is going to do it for you. And
Exactly.
yeah, it does allow you more respect. It
It
does.
does.
You get
It
more
does.
respect in
It
in the
does.
workspace.
And I'm like, even as a creative, if we take it out of the corporate space and then we take it just the creative aspect, you have to say no to yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to understand when you're putting too much on yourself for the sake of what.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes like having that healthy balance. Like, are you burning your own self out because you don't know your work habits? Are you burning your own self out because you feel like you need to overperform in this
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
or you need to produce this and you need to burning out is just it should never be a sacrifice that you're willing to make.
Mm-hmm.
Because each time you get burnt out, you send yourself, I don't want to say you send yourself into this dark place, but you risk not coming back.
Yeah.
You truly,
Yeah.
like, burning out, you risk not coming back. So it's nothing that you want to toy with. Because to me, sometimes when you get burnt out, you get fed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that person that's in your mind when you're burnt out can easily talk you into never getting back into the game
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's a burnt out feels different from a creative block, because that block is like somewhere inside you still have it. To me, a
Mm-hmm.
burnout is more of, I tried everything and it's still not working for me, which is
Mm.
which is so much more dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've worked so hard, but I'm still not getting this.
Mm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
about burning out more so looks like all of the work and the effort you put into it, and you're tired because of it. So that's a tempting space to get discouraged and to tell yourself that you're not going to make it, and you never are, especially if you're a creative and you're freelance and you're
Mm-hmm.
starting off and you're trying to do all of this, and you're trying to build something that in the beginning, let's be honest, may not have any external validation
Yeah.
or any external rewards. It just may
Mm-hmm.
not. You may get a couple likes and you may just move on.
Yeah.
Like, you may
Yeah.
not have that.
Yeah.
But, and also, do you think burnout ever means that something is wrong? Like, the system is wrong, or there's something at play that you're not doing correctly, or like, did you set up your system incorrectly, or did you put too much on yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Because there are moments where I feel I'll get burnt out and I'm like, I think I'm too, sometimes it can be a signal that I'm invested too much in one place, or that
Mm,
it's not, and I don't want to, I hesitate to say that I care too much, because I'm a passionate person. But when I've become so overly invested in something to the point where nothing else is
mm,
matters,
yeah.
is a signal to me that burnout is on the horizon,
um
because my mind is consumed so much by work, or the thing that I'm trying to, and to a degree it's okay that you're working again, because you have to
yes.
work hard to get to where you want to go.
Yes,
um
but you have to play hard too, and I think that's
yeah.
the balance that I had to understand. It's like,
Yeah.
because I've been burnt out, like, we've all been burnt out. But that's when I realized, okay, this is the point of vacation,
Mm-hmm.
but vacation before the burnout.
Yeah.
Like, being like, no, okay, it's been this long and I haven't had a fun activity. Let me go
Yeah.
have the fun
Yeah.
activity before I get back into it. There's definitely been moments at work where, no, let's just say in my life in general, where I've just had so much going
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis. I just had a lot going on, that in order to prevent burnout, and it was a lot going on that I had to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I knew, because sometimes I can predict burnout, but it's something that I have to lock in for.
Yeah.
Like I can't not show up to this.
Yeah.
I just cannot. Where I've given myself, like, let's say, lunch, dinner, and sleep on time, and all of those things are uninterrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Because I understand that if I go into myself, I won't have burnout, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all about, to prevent burnout, go into whatever safe space you have.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, go do that for a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
then come back and
Yeah.
see if you've helped prevent. But I think it's all just about, that's when I say, when self-care stops, I'm like, oh, it's on the way.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
on the way for
good.
me.
And you have to set guardrails up for yourself because burnout is in some ways, if you're a hard worker, if you're type A, I
Mm-hmm.
am, it's bound to happen. So
Yes.
now I know where to set those guardrails up. Like I make sure I get all my supplements.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I start recently taking ashwagandha
Mm.
to help with stress and to help with managing burnout. Um, Making sure I'm getting the right things in my diet.
Oh, that's important. What
Yeah,
you eat is very, very
what you
important.
eat is really important. How you're taking care of yourself.
That's it.
Um, Building out some sort of schedule. We talked about discipline this
Mm-hmm.
season. Building out some sort of system for yourself to help when burnout occurs, that you have something in place to to help manage it.
Yes.
We talk about sleep.
Yes.
So sleeping, oh my gosh, you bring up a good point because sleep is another way I know that I'm burnt out. Because when I'm thinking about work,
Oof.
that brain does not shut off.
It
I
does
will wake
not.
up at 3 a.m. thinking about what I need to do for the next day,
Mm-hmm.
what I did the night before. It can mess with your sleep.
It can.
So managing insomnia is a thing. So I already noticed I was starting to like sleep was getting bad. I'm like I can fall asleep, but I'm having a hard time staying asleep. And
Mm.
so that shows up in your work. And if you want to be a good creator and you want to put your best and do your best work, you have to be well rested. You
Yes.
have to be able
No,
to.
that's so true.
So taking care, yeah. So
That's
if
so
we
true.
know that burnout, it's inevitable. If we know that stressors are gonna happen
Mm-hmm.
when we're working hard and when we're going after our goals, we want to set ourselves up for success. We want to be able to put the guardrails up. So don't don't sell yourself short. Make sure you are taking care of your body, making sure
Mm-hmm.
that you are taking care of your mental health. I use an app called Insight Timer, and they
Oh.
have these meditations that you can tap into, and they have different topics if you want to. Literally, if you're experiencing burnout, they have a meditation for burnout. For
Oh.
stress, if you're dealing with confidence issues,
That's
if you
cool.
just want a timer meditation. So sometimes I'll put those on in the morning and listen to that just to recenter myself, you know, start to understand what it is that is going what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if we're in this creative space, if we're working hard, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have creative block,
Yeah.
you're gonna have burnout, but set some guardrails up in your life to help better manage it. So when it does
Yes.
come, you have the tools needed so that it doesn't become chronic stress, autoimmune disorders.
Yes.
It doesn't progress into something more serious.
Yes.
Because what I see in our culture, oftentimes, especially with Black women, that they do and they can progress into something more serious. So taking supplements, making sure you're eating, getting exercise, moving your body,
Yes.
stretching,
Yeah.
and enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I think burnout is something that is inevitable, but I think there are just ways that you can make it just a little bit easier, especially when you're in moments where, like I said, for me, it's something that you have to do.
Yeah.
Right? You have to show up in that way. But yeah, I just think it's about how much you put on yourself and you allow yourself to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Ah!
we are coming to a close. We want to, as always, end our episodes with our footnotes.
Yes.
So what is your footnote for this episode?
My gosh, what is my footnote for this episode? Um, my footnote for the burnout episode is to take care of yourself. That's what I can say. Take care of yourself and don't put too much on yourself. We'll say that. Do not put too much on yourself because you will experience burnout.
Yeah.
Like there's a time, there's a place for everything. So just work on your timing.
That's good. I like that. Mine would be for this one, especially as we close out season 2, is um, consider how physical media plays into your everyday life and your creative processes. And especially when it comes to print, if you are somebody who goes on Pinterest or goes on Instagram and you like to you use images and editorials and fashion to kind of inspire your creative process, consider investing in print media.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, only 2%, less than 2% of um, Black women own print media publications. So we have to support Black media.
We have to. And then we're going to do cheers to the end of
cheers
season
to season 2.
All right. We'll see
Cheers
you guys
to you.
later.
Thank you for tuning in this season. We are so happy that you're with us. Make sure you subscribe. If you're just tuning in this episode, make sure you go back and watch the full season. Watch season 1 if you haven't. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow us on the Zeal Life, the Zeal.life, and the Zeal.edit. And we will see you